Hi! Welcome to Wisteria Gardens. So, a lot of people are doing the unboxing videos recently, and I've decided to show you how I unbox my freshly arrived fabrics. So, at the beginning of the video, you saw a big bag of fabrics. Some of them are damaged kimono, some of them are karinui. So karinui are pre-sewn kimono, but not ready really. Some of them are regular fabrics. So let's begin, because this is probably what you are waiting for. So the first one, I had to unpack to some degree some of them, because the packages were so great that I really couldn't bring them home without unpacking them, so some of them won't be such a surprise. So the first one, so the first one is a dark navy blue, royal blue kimono. I think it's very, very small. Look at that gorgeous fabric. Okay, so it's got a pattern for all the seasons. Love that fabric. As you see, we have, it's an iromuji. So we have some botan, I believe, peony. We have kiku, which is chrysanthemum. We have some really nice maple here. Ume, which is basically plum tree. And it's a really, really nice fabric. Let's see the inside, because inside of older kimono there happens to be a lot of good lining. Oh yes, yes, look at that fabric, it's absolutely gorgeous. So it seems to have a double layer of regular lining, very, very thin, and also an extra lining, patterned. So that one's a really nice surprise, something I didn't count on. So the fabric goes in, smooth that out. If it wasn't damaged, I'd probably keep it for myself as a wearing item. It has a nice come on. Alright, so that's the first one. Really, really something. And maybe let's just check. Oh, here, yeah, the hakake. It's a gorgeous dark blue navy silk. You can see it better here. Oh yes. Let's fold that. Folding is my least favorite part of kimono. It's actually really small, and though it's in a far better condition than I suspected. Okay, the second one. Second one is still a dark blue. Again, an iromuji. I really rarely buy common. So this one is again blue. I think it's newer than the previous one, though it has this nice hakake, which is colorful lining. Lining is really useful for making kanzashi because it's usually very fine. Let's see if the sleeves maybe hold another surprise for me. No, just regular. But still very good quality. As you see, it's hand sewn. Really gorgeous fabric. Not as gorgeous as the previous one, but still. Next one. This one is again an iromuji. Interesting grain, like wood-like pattern. Very nice thick fabric. I love the texture. Iromuji have the best texture. Again, the lining is very nice. This one's a fairly regular kimono. Oh, it's actually very regular. I like the texture of it. Okay, we have an embroidered camel here. It's a good thing that these come damaged, as I wouldn't have the guts or the heart to actually pick them apart. Okay, so here's the next one. Okay, sorry for the interruption, guys. My dog felt that she really wanted her breakfast. So this one is unpacked yet. Oh, look at the gorgeous stamps. Actually like those. Too bad these were ripped. But I'm actually going to keep them. Oh, for a skilled person. Oh yeah, that's the way to deal with it. So, for a person who is skilled with silk and quite clumsy. Okay, so you must imagine the face of the lady at the post office, though I'm really renowned at my local post office for bringing a lot of parcels, shipping, and taking lots of parcels with me home. Today was the absolute whole of everything. Okay, so here we have something I didn't really expect. Quite so. So this is one of those moments when you don't really know what you're getting, but since I got those for under $1 each, so I decided to take a risk. So there are two kimono in this parcel. So one is a really dark dark Iromuji. I don't think I'll be keeping it. It's really nice, but I think it might be too dark for Kanzashi. It's small, but maybe someone wants to buy something like this. Oh yeah, that was the reason for the price. As you see, these are, I don't know, stains. I'm not sure if they're stains or are they actually removable? Probably not. Can you see them? Right here? No, probably not. So there's a lot of tiny stains here. I was actually hoping for a deep, rich red, which isn't really. So if somebody wants to buy a kimono like that, maybe for training, because it's actually dark brown. Not a very good catch, sadly. But I was counting that some of them might not be the kind I wanted, though this one is much better. Though on the photos of the seller, there wasn't, for some reason, a hint of the fact that it's an Edo common, which means that it has a lot of tiny dots here. I'm not sure if you can see it. It's a nice fabric, obviously. I think it might do well for Kanzashi. Can't remember what the damage was. Can you see the tiny spots? Hope so. It's a really nice light blue color. So, but it doesn't have a colored hakaka. Actually, the lining is quite stained. Not sure what I'm going to do with it. But I like the kimono. I'm definitely keeping it. I think it was very cheap because of the lining, so while I don't think it's wearable, it might be a good practice piece. Quite nice. Okay, so the next parcel. Oh, we have an absolutely different set of stamps. I really like the Japanese stamps. They're really nice. I'm keeping that one too, just for laughs, just for kicks. Because I'm a Japan nerd and I'll be able to show people nice Japanese stamps, because I rarely go to these small packet ones. Keeping stamps isn't a regular thing for me, because usually people don't send them to me via that sort of a mail. Okay, so there are two more. And again, they are really different in color from what the seller listed, so I have to keep that in mind while shopping from him, because oh, there's a note from the seller. That's actually nice. Okay, so this one is a non-descriptive crypt sort of a color. I think it was either unworn or freshly out of cleaning, because it has those basting stitches. But obviously it didn't do the kimono much, as you see. Plus it feels really worn. But it's a really nice texture, though I can't really make up my mind about the color. I think it's a bluish mint. Again, it was very light blue on the photos. So I have to really keep in mind that this particular seller's photos are really photoshopped. But, well, I didn't expect really a lot for under $1 kimono, so not complaining, just stating a fact. Okay, so this is obviously damaged, heavily damaged, and absolutely unwearable. Not sure why. I can suspect that it was either really heavily spilled with, I don't know, soy sauce? No. I do believe that what the problem with this one is, it's the lining. The lining looks dyed yellow, yellowish orange. Hate the color. It's brownish. It's orange-ish, rotten orange. Yeah, closest to what you get. So the whole kimono is stained with this orangish, brownish stains, and I think they come from the lining. So this is absolutely unwearable. Sadly, it's also much darker than I expected. But still, it's a nice kimono, and I think I'm going to have a lot of fun with this fabric. Though sadly, none of the blues came out as I expected, because the one blue that is actually blue, it's an Edo Common. So, because I've been on the hunt for blue kimonos for quite some time, and I didn't have the luck with a really light blue fabric, the sort of a blue, sky blue. It's one of those holy grails of my fabric collection that I can't really get a hold of. So if anyone has some damaged sky blue kimono, or preferably bold, because it aches me every time and I unpick a kimono, even if it's absolutely unwearable. I took my time to cut off this really nice set of stamps. It's the same as the last one, but this time I managed to save the whole of it. The last parcel from this particular seller. So back to that one. So again, the Irumuji, really nice one. I think it's meant for autumn, because I can see Kiku and Maple, and only Kiku and Maple, which is surprising. Irumuji are usually all seasons. Yeah, can't find other seasonality here, which is rather unusual, but it's a really nice soft yellow but darker yellow fabric, so this is one of the things I was actually looking for. And that one, not a very nice one, acceptable I guess. Maples and Kiku again, autumn motifs. Oh, so I remember why I got it. It's heavily stained and really damaged, but there are parts, like those shaded parts, were which I can very easily save for kimono, for kanzashi I mean. So it's heavily patterned, which I really like. Heavily patterned as in woven. I really like working with woven fabrics. I guess just a fabrics fetish. It's a rather nondescript color, which again, it's the same seller as the rest of the kimono I said that weren't really that nice. Okay, and that's the last parcel for today. I think this one comes from Ichiroya, which usually is good because Ichiroya tends to have a really nicely described kimono. Oh yes, oh yes. It's absolutely gorgeous. So here we have two items, both of them purple. One of them is a really nice shaded Irumuji, so I'll probably just skip the last one. This is absolutely gorgeous. It's really small. Oh, there's a piece of paper here. It's really small, as you see, but it's absolutely nice. It's got those wonderful shades of purple and with a slightly blue hint. I don't really like the lining too much, but I don't care really about the lining in this case. It's just regular kimono lining. But this is something absolutely gorgeous. If it wasn't so small, I wouldn't even dare touch it with scissors. Oh, and this one is what it's called karinui. So as you see, it's stitched up fabric. Oh, that's actually something really nice. It's a stitched up fabric, very loosely, so you can see how the pattern of the kimono will look while worn, and only then, if the customer wants, it's sewn into a regular kimono. So as you see, this was really just roughly stitched up, well, roughly in Japanese terms, because usually in terms of European standards, it's really well stitched. As you see, this seam is regular kimono seam. So while this one, yeah, I think it's just a nice fabric, but this one, this shade, this gorgeous lavender, it's something I was looking for quite some time. So most of those kimono will end up as kanzashi. Some of them I'll probably skip, like maybe the brown one or maybe the purple one. Not really sure if I have two really gorgeous fabrics, so I'm just going to sell the not really nice purple one. Okay, so thank you for being with me. Thank you for sticking out for so long, and there's going to be another unpacking soon, so stick with me. It's really small, as you see, but it's absolutely nice. It's got those wonderful shades of purple and with a slightly blue hint. I don't really like the lining too much, but I don't care really about the lining in this case. It's just regular kimono lining. But this is something absolutely gorgeous. If it wasn't so small, I wouldn't even dare touch it with scissors. Oh, and this one is what it's called karinui. So as you see, it's stitched up fabric. Oh, that's actually something really nice. It's a stitched up fabric very loosely, so you can see how the pattern of the kimono will look while worn, and only then, if the customer wants, it's sewn into a regular kimono. So as you see, this was really just roughly stitched up, well, roughly in Japanese terms, because usually in terms of European standards, it's really well stitched. As you see, the seam is regular kimono seam. So while this one, yeah, I think it's just a nice fabric, but this one, this shade, this gorgeous lavender, it's something I was looking for quite some time. So most of those kimono will end up as kanzashi. Some of them I'll probably skip, like maybe the brown one or maybe the purple one. Not really sure if I have two really gorgeous fabrics, so I'm just going to sell the not really nice purple one. Okay, so thank you for being with me. Thank you for sticking out for so long, and there's going to be another unpacking soon, so stick with me.